Good Lord! On top of all your other neuroses, you're claustrophobic too? Calm down! You know, if you hadn't been so obsessed with Sloane's book, we wouldn't have been here in the first place. What is in that book that has driven you to this extreme? What are you so afraid of?
I'm afraid I'm gonna die in this room with you! Ah! Help! 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 Help me, somebody! Can anybody hear?
Dorian! Stop it! Nobody can hear you!
Oh.
And you lost the key, remember?
Somebody! Anybody! Please.
You may as well save your breath, Dorian! Save your breath, you're gonna need it. For when the room caves in and the stone dust chokes us.
Stop it! I know what you're trying to do. You are trying to make it worse.
Do you know something? That is funny. That's funny coming from you. From the second you appeared in this town, you have done nothing but make my whole life worse. 25 years ago, Dorian, I came back to this town, leaving college, to make my life here. This was my home. It was my father's home and my father's newspaper, and my whole life was wonderfully mapped out for me.
Oh, terrific. We're about to be buried alive, and you want to take a stroll down memory lane.
From the second you appeared in my life, you have caused me nothing but misery.
Don't you dare try and blame me for the unhappiness in your life. Look around you, sweetheart. Put the blame where it really belongs. On the man who built this secret room for his, secret pleasures. The man who didn't even tell you that you'd given birth to a little baby daughter named Megan. The man who seduced your college roommate, Irene Manning, and fathered Tina. The man who tried to stop you from marrying Joe Riley. But no, not even now. When you finally know all the sordid details of Victor Lord's past, can you find fault with dear, darling Daddy?
Are you finished?
Why quit now? Like you said, we're gonna choke to death if we're not crushed. Oh, God, please. Please don't let me die. Not here, not now, not with her.
You're not exactly the person I would choose to meet my maker with either, Dorian.
Oh, and God, please, I would do anything if you would send a big, tall fireman with a great big axe, or a shovel, or a pick, or just about anything that would break down that door. Please.
Well, here's something useful. Champagne, Dorian. Mother's milk to you, isn't it?
You're really getting a kick out of this, aren't you?
Quite frankly, our only hope is that someone is going to come looking for us. Let's hope it's in time. So in the meanwhile, let's enjoy the time we have left. Sorry, we don't have any glasses.
Your health. It's warm. Oh, and it's not even vintage.
Oh, good old Dorian, a snob to the end.
Thank you. Coming from you, I will take that as a compliment.
Oh. You know something, Dorian? Funny that. It's just you and me, right here in this room. There's no pretense. We are just two women with nothing to lose, except the truth. Why don't we, for once, tell each other the truth? It won't leave this room. Why do you hate me so much? You have everything a woman could want. You're beautiful. You have money and power and success. Isn't that enough? Why do you have to envy me? Why do you have to hate me so much?
Why do I hate you, Viki? Let me count the ways. Okay, let me start with the time you stole Clint away from me. Do you care about anything that I do?
Yeah. I care very much. I care very much that you go out of your way to be mean and callous. I care very much about your sarcasm tonight with Edwina about Mario.
Edwina is making a fool of herself over Mario. I have a hard time taking her feelings towards him seriously.
She takes her feelings very seriously, and for me, that's reason enough for them to be respected. You know, sometimes I don't think you have any idea what a true feeling or a true emotion is. Maybe that's why you don't care about it in other people. You have no regard for it. You know, you would do well to take a lesson or two from Viki Riley in compassion and feeling.
Viki! Viki, Viki, Viki. That's all you're ever talking about. Could it be that you are attracted to Viki?
I am attracted to any woman who comes off like a human being.
Oh, wonderful. Yes, Viki is so terrific. She's so noble, a paragon of virtue, an absolute goddess.
Do you seriously believe that I stole Clint from you?
Okay, let's skip over Clint. Let's go to Harry O'Neill when you stole him. Oh, no. I was about to say when you stole him, but it was Nikki Smith who stole him away. Who's that?
Never mind.
Why would you tell me?
Well, it was just somebody I thought I recognized.
Thought? Harry, you recognized her. I could see by your face.
Boy, when all else fails, Dorian, you throw Nikki Smith at me. Do you really hate me that much?
Yes, I do.
Why?
Because everybody loves you. That's why. Yeah, sure. I'm a woman who has everything. Except respect and love.
That's not entirely true. Cassie loves you.
She's my daughter. It's in her contract. But insofar as the rest of the world is concerned, nothing I ever do is good enough. So, now you understand why I can't let Victor's biography see the light of day.
But it's the truth.
Who cares about the truth? I want redemption. Oh, of course. How could I possibly expect you to understand? You were born perfect. Even my daughter comes to you for help and advice.
I'm far from perfect, as you have just reminded me.
Oh, you mean your dual personality? Hey, even that works in your favor. Nikki Smith just gets you the sympathy vote.
Well, you can have the sympathy. I wish I'd never heard the name Nikki Smith my whole life. And you know that. You know the power that she had over me. Because you forced me to confront her. Right here in this very room.
Oh, Viki. I know that we've been adversaries in the past. And more often than not, we treat each other like enemies instead of members of the same family. But I am only trying to help you. And even though the realization of this side of Victor's nature must be a bitter disillusionment to you, it doesn't negate the many wonderful qualities he had.
Dorian, he wouldn't stand for betrayal of any kind. Not of any kind. And to find out his capacity for betrayal is... Oh.
But he did love you. He did. He loved you very, very much. All right, so he was a man of weakness who despised that trait in other people. He was a man who coveted women, who enjoyed sex.
No!
Perhaps to excess.
Stop it, please.
But he isn't the first man to be attracted to younger women, much younger women. And think of it this way, Viki, maybe every time you weren't around, Irene Manning was flirting with him. And that letter that he wrote you about Tina being his daughter, well, if it shows that he's a man who made mistakes, he's not a man who ran away from them. Viki. Oh, Viki.
Where am I? What am I doing here with you? Do you remember that?
Of course I do. How you must hate me for what I did to you that day.
No, I don't hate you.
Oh, come on, Viki. Uncork some of those upper crust emotions you've kept repressed all these years. Come on, out with it. You hate me, don't you?
Oh, all right, okay. All right, I hate you. You want to know why, Dorian? Why don't you sit down and listen? All those years of envy and evil.
All those years of holier than thou.
You sit down and you listen. It is my turn. You know, Dorian, if we are going to die here, and if it's true, as they say, that your life flashes before your eyes before you die, then you must be seeing Larry Wolek. You remember Larry, don't you?
Oh, please, you must be desperate if you're going to dredge Larry up.
It was Larry who first put you on staff at Landview Hospital, and how did you repay him?
Oh, come on. Larry was always threatened by me. He didn't know what to do with a woman who could surpass his medical skills.
And so you let him stand trial for the death of a patient that you administered the wrong dosage to?
How was I supposed to know it was the wrong dosage? And I was in a coma during the trial. Larry's conviction wasn't my fault.
Well, no, of course not. Nothing is ever your fault, is it? And I suppose it wasn't you who tried to steal my husband, Joe Riley, away from me.
Oh, please, not that old grudge about Joe. Viki, despite your inflated opinion about you and the men you have attached yourself to, believe me, there wasn't a one of them I really wanted.
Oh, you're probably right. You're too neurotic to want happiness for yourself. You just don't want me to have it. Which I'm quite sure is why you got Clint to come up to Vermont so he could find Sloan and me together.
Oh, would you give it a rest? This isn't about Joe or Clint or even Sloan Carpenter. No, this is about the man who built this room, your father, Victor Lord.
All right. You want to talk about Father? Let's talk about Father, but not in the abstract. Let's talk about what you did to him. You were the worst thing that ever happened to my father.
Watch it, Viki. Your Electra complex is showing.
You only married him for his money, and then you milked him for everything he had until he was sick and dying. And then you forced him to change his will in your favor.
Oh, is that what this is all about? Daddy's little girl didn't get all the toys she wanted.
This isn't about the money, Dorian. You stole my father from me long before he died. And my mother's memory. You took down that beautiful portrait that used to hang in the library, and you replaced it with that hideous caricature of yourself.
What would you have wanted me to do? Replace it with a life-size portrait of you on Daddy's knee?
God, Dorian, I would have settled for a chance to see him before he died. But you didn't let anybody in there, did you? And when I tried, you threw me out of my own house.
And you have been trying to throw me out of this house ever since. Even though your father left it in my care, not yours.
Well, Dorian, I just can't tell you how badly I feel now that we've reached the deadline and you can't move. Are you taking anything?
Nurse Braun has gone out to have a prescription filled.
Good, good. You know, out west, I spent some time with the Indians. Some of their remedies are truly amazing.
Yes, I'm sure.
Of course, they can be a little bizarre. For instance, there's this one remedy where you spend an hour in bed with a rattlesnake. They claim it'll cure almost anything. Ha!
It's a fake snake! You monster! You monster!
But it worked. It didn't even take a full hour.
Looks like the snake isn't the only fake in the room, Dorian, right?
Now, Dorian, enough is enough. You're trespassing. Now, please get out of bed and get out of the house.
I'm not going anywhere. I'm not going anywhere. I'm staying here.
Okay.
Get your hands off me. Clint! Clint! You don't dare! You let go! Viki!
He carried you, kicking and screaming out of the house. I will never forget as long as I live the rattlesnake.
Don't you dare laugh at me! I love this house! And I loved your father.
No, you never loved my father. You sucked him dry and you tossed him aside. I wouldn't be at all surprised if you murdered him.
All right, Viki. I'll say it since you won't. If we've been enemies all these years, it's because of your suspicion. You think I killed your father, don't you?
You said it, Dorian. We might be running out of time and air. Perhaps you'd like to clear your conscience.
So you want to know whether the allegations in Sloane's book are true? Did I, deliberately, with malice aforethought, kill your father, Victor Lord?
Yes, I would like to know. I think I've always wanted to know. Did you?